Hello. Join in, join in. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are waiting for you guys. Please join in. Join in, join in. I can already see one person. Hi, guest. How was your day?
Fine, thank you. And not so fine, but we thank God so far, so good.
Okay.
I don't
And
take the day for granted.
how is the weather from your side? How was the weather?
Very, very cold.
Okay.
Mm.
How many degrees was it today?
Oh my God, I didn't check, but it was cold anyway because I was outside and my hands couldn't take it anymore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Guys, join in, join in. Just say hi if you are there so that we may get to see you. Hello. I can see 3 people are already watching. Please join in. Join in. Guys, today we will be talking about the Russian-Ukraine conflict. We want to discuss so that you may tell us what you think is the problem, and we also tell you what we think is the problem. Join in. Atoti, I just said that today we will be discussing about the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, so that we may be telling our viewers what we think and what we know about it, and they'll be telling us what they know about it.
Yeah, it's so sad what's going on.
Hi, I can see 2 people already watching. Just say hi when you're there so that we may get to see you. I'll share as I wait for our viewers. So, our viewers, there is a war between Russia and Ukraine, and we will be discussing so that we tell you what we think about it, and you may tell us what you think about it. Atoti, according to your opinion, what is the war all about?
As far as I'm concerned, and from my own research, actually, according to the the statistics or how people are saying it, the Ukrainians and the Russia that are living around us, or maybe are living in my city.
Yeah.
It's about the portion of land that Russia believes belongs to them, especially they put in.
Okay.
Yes, and the problem here is that is making the Mr. Putin to be so bitter, and the reason for him to decide on this type of war is because he believes that Ukraine want to join the NATO.
Okay.
Yes, and once it joins the NATO, Ukraine is going to be together with the Americans.
Okay.
And another thing again, he believes the Ukraine wants to join the EU, the European Union, of which he himself, as Putin, is so much against it, and he doesn't want. And with the thoughts and with the mind and belief that Ukraine is part of them. It's supposed to be Russia before they just gave them that portion, and it was like maybe like I don't know, but let me just put it was just like a present given to them as Ukraine's, a portion of land for them to be living in it. But in the real sense, Ukraine is altogether known as Russia. It's just the other day in 1990s they gained their land and named it Ukraine. So Putin is so much bitter because he doesn't want the fact that Ukraine is going to join European Union, and the fact that Ukraine is going to also join the NATO. All these two things are just making him so bitter, and that's why he decided to take over the land where which is believed to have been Ukraine was given as a present from Russia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Viewers, those who are joining in, just say hi so that we may get to see you. Social media, Wahala, good evening. Thank you for joining in. For those who just joined in, we are discussing about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. They are not at peace at the moment. They are fighting. And to start with, I would say that the president of Russia is called Putin. And the president of Ukraine is called Volodymyr Zelensky.
Yeah.
It's not an easy name to pronounce for me. And they are fighting. We want to discuss so that you may tell us what is your opinion, and we may tell you what is our opinion about it. Continue joining in as we continue with this discussion. According to my opinion, Atoti, and according to what I read on the social media, Putin is saying that he's fighting the Ukrainian in order to protect the people who are speaking Russia in Ukraine, or rather the Russian speaking Ukrainian. That is the east part of Ukraine. Because Ukraine is strategically placed, it is between European and Russia. So the eastern part of Ukraine is close to Russia, and it's obvious that most of the Ukrainians in the eastern part of it are speaking Russian. And according to his opinion, or according to what he was telling the public, he's trying to fight in order to protect them.
Yeah.
But people have a different opinion. I don't know what's your research on it.
Okay, as far as I'm concerned, there's no way, from my own opinion, my own point of view, you can never protect somebody by creating war or causing violence.
Yeah.
That is not protection. You are in another sense trying to finish your population, or maybe the people you think that you're protecting. You are in another hand killing them. You're finishing them. What of their generation? What do you think about the people that are bound to take over the land in the next 20 or 30 years to come? Yeah. For me, I think he's too mean. He's heartless. He's greedy. He's not being human. He's very, I mean, he's a monster. He's a devil, in short. There's no way, for heaven's sake, you can say you're protecting your people by creating violence and causing death in the world. That is not protection. There's communication, which can bring peace and which can solve problem. So for that one, for me, that Putin is not making sense on that part. As long as death is concerned, as long as people's lives are being lost, as long as families are being separating from each other, they don't know whether they'll ever meet each other again. There are families here in Europe, in Germany, in London, in America. A lot of Russians are everywhere. Ukrainians are everywhere. But today, as they sit in their houses, they don't know whether they will ever see their family again. This is a land where many of them were born and brought up. But Putin doesn't have that humanity. That thing doesn't even, I mean, it doesn't have remorse. Let me just say like that.
Yeah. And also, according to my research on the internet, there are some people who are saying that he wants to overthrow a government that was democratically elected. He wants to take over Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't think that fighting is a solution. Rather, it is, people who are innocent are dying and there is bloodshed.
Yeah.
People are trying to free that country because I think if he has the opinion that he wants to take over the country, he wants to rule the country, he should use other strategies other than fighting and killing innocent people. Think of the mothers, think of the children.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, I was trying to imagine if the same thing was to happen to my country. How many people would be wounded? How many people would, how many families would be destabilized? And actually, he went ahead to confess that he's going to destabilize Europe if any country happens to interfere with the situation that now is in Ukraine.
Yes, for this one, really.
Sorry?
I just wanted to confirm that, yes, he said that he's going to disorganize Europe.
Yeah, that is being heartless.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the interest of his citizens at heart.
Mm-mm.
And I was looking, for example, there is a nuclear weapon that he revealed today or the day before today, and it's called the Saturn. I think I was reading in the internet, they are naming it as Saturn 2. And he was saying that the weapon is used, when it's used, they are putting a kind of fuel in it, and it's going to put gas in the whole nation. As in, everybody will be affected no matter where they are. And no country, no nation should try to interfere with Ukraine or even defend the country. What do you think of this situation? I don't know whether you saw the weapon. It was all over the internet, and they were calling it Saturn.
Yeah, I think it's a nuclear bomb, yeah?
Yeah, a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, this is the nuclear bomb that can destroy almost the whole world, or maybe cause any kind of, it can affect the whole world, in short. It can really affect the whole world. So actually, this Putin, he has his own agendas, which are not even making sense. And the fact that he has even given a warning or maybe a threat to the rest of the world that may try to interfere or maybe to come in the war to protect, to fight against them or to protect Ukraine. As much as I'm concerned, once any country tries to chip in, because from my own point of, from my own research, I've came to learn that Russia are very, very strong to anything partaking world war, guns, bombs. They are like the founders. They are more stronger even than the Americans. Yeah. So once
actually in most countries, they are the people who usually supply weapons and nuclear bombs and all that.
Yeah. So once he gives such kind of warning, such kind of threat, the only thing that is left to be done to bring peace and save lives in Ukraine is dialogue. If they can, here is another fact that the president of Ukraine is not trying, but he wants. He's a man. Hello, he wants to prove himself as a man, and he says he's not going to give up, and the soldiers are not going to sleep. They are not giving up the guns. They are not putting down the guns. They are not going to put down the weapons. They are not going to put down the bombs. They are going to face the Russia. So, and he's not going to give up.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the president of Russia, the Putin, is also, he's also throwing threats and even throwing more threats to the whole world. So this is kind of something that might, in one way or another, I'm sorry to say, and I'm afraid to say, might affect the whole world.
Yeah.
Because as much as the president of Ukraine is not going to give in or give up, Putin is going to deploy more weapons and deploy more soldiers and affect the country in a bigger way, of which it's just around Europe.
Yeah.
The more they run to this side, the more they are coming this side, and somehow we're going to get affected in one way or another.
Yeah, because even when these people free in different countries, of course, the countries that they are freeing to, they have to provide for them. They have to protect them in a way.
Of course.
Yeah. And some other people are also saying it is because of its strategic position, that Ukraine position. It's also in a well-off situation because it is known of farming and producing things like magnesium, aluminium that are very well known, and they are economically profitable to the country. That's why he's trying to overtake. He's trying to overthrow the government. What do you think about that point?
Yeah, I believe that one because if you check in Ukraine, like today we were in a protest, not a protest, but they're trying to demonstrate. It was a peaceful demonstration, and they were standing as they were trying to show up or to talk out their feelings, to express how they feel about what is going on in their country, the Ukraine people. And one lady mentioned it, and she said that. The thing that Putin is so much about, is jealous about, so to say, is about the development in the country. Ukraine is so much developed in that they have big infrastructures. And if you check the way the Putin is attacking that country, the place where he's throwing the bombs, the place where he's deploying his soldiers to destroy, is around all those, like the beautiful bridges they have. They have a lot of things have been destroyed that is worth millions and billions of euro. So what people are saying is true. He is trying to destroy to make the country to go down economically. Yeah. Because once they destroy your infrastructure, things that you've used years and millions to build, and bring you down, or just in a twinkle of an eye, everything is down on the ground. You need more. You need money. You need to come back again. You need to revive yourself again. You have lost lives. You have lost your future generation. You have lost the money. You have lost a lot of things. So for them to build up again, to come back again as Ukraine, is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money. They have to go maybe in debt. So he knows what he's doing. He's using a lot of strategies. He's using a lot of ways to bring them to completely down, for them not to have a way to wake up again, to come back again as Ukraine, and for him to take over whatever he claims or he wants to take over.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you for joining in. Hello, Felicity. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for joining in. Keep joining in. And the other point also, you know that once the country, okay, he was trying to say that, or according to the information that is out there on the social media, Ukraine is not a member of the NATO, which is a national alliance treaty. It's like a union whereby the countries can go and defend any other country in case there is danger or something of that kind. Of course, they have so many agendas, but that is one of the agendas. But I don't understand the reason as to why they withdrew them from the NATO, or why are they not a member of the NATO? Maybe our viewers, you can tell us what is your opinion about the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Why are they not a member of the NATO?
According to what I heard about too from the Ukraine people, and from also the social media, the Ukraine wanted to join the NATO. Their plan is to join the NATO. Their plan is to enter Europe, to have a connection with the America, with the United States, of which Putin is not ready for that, because he claims that Ukraine is their land. Ukraine belongs to them. So it's like He wants to be above Ukraine. He wants to take over everything. And he wants Ukraine to always consult on them before doing anything, of which one of the things he doesn't want Ukraine to do is to join EU and also to join the NATO. And that's why he just opened the way for the violence, opened the way for the bomb.
Yeah, and that brings us to the point that he wants to overthrow a government that was democratically elected.
Exactly.
That is so inhuman of him, and I think when it comes to that kind of a person, the citizens or the people of the country should be very sensitive on the kind of people that we elect.
Thank you.
They should be very sensitive. We should scrutinize these people, know their character, know what we have in their heart, because that is being inhuman. So you can imagine the kids, the mother. I was seeing some videos that are being shared all over in the media, some women running with kids, some are pregnant. That is so inhuman of them. What do you think about it? About our readers at Toti? What should we do, we as the citizens? It doesn't matter, okay, not only for the people, the Russians, the people of this country that are fighting, because we cannot say that our countries are the best, and you cannot guarantee that something of that kind will never happen. What do you think, or what would you say about the readers that you are going to erect?
First of all, like now, let's go back to Kenya. We are about to do our general election in August.
Yeah.
Which is going to is what we are going to decide today is going to affect our tomorrow.
Yeah.
And upon that, many of us, especially in Africa, we do the elections according to the person's pocket. Yeah. We don't care about tomorrow. Apart from that, Russia, they don't. Maybe Russia, they do it, or they don't do it. I don't know about that one. But here, in a case of, in this case of Africa, especially Kenya, we just choose just because we want the person, or maybe because we know the person, or maybe the person has given us something for today, or maybe we see the person of today, but we don't look at this person's background. We don't look at this person's character. We don't go and dig down the roots of this person. And this is why many African countries are being affected in a very bad way. And apart from that, not only African countries being affected, most of our African leaders have decided to be bored with all these above people. I will not mention names, who are not even Africans. And these people have decided to, these people that are being bought are working according to the above people. So if these above people say, no, this person has to be the president so that we can use him to destroy this type of tribe, or to take over this part of land, or to use this part of company, or maybe to create this type of thing in this country, they have to do it because they're already being bought. Yeah. Like, for example, now if Kenya can stand and take the president according to the person's background, according to the person's root, how well do you know this person? How much have you take to know this kind of president you want to choose, the kind of MCA you want to choose, the kind of governor you want to choose? Do you know this person well? Yeah. What kind of connections does this person have? Are you selecting them according to their pockets, according to their family background, or are you selecting them according to the kind of personality you people have learned of seeing in this person? And this is where we are failing too much. We Africans, we are being bought so easily with the foreign countries, with the Europeans, with the Americans. We are not our Africans is going African. We are too rich. We have a lot of. We have a lot of things. We have a lot of things, but we are not using it. This is the bitter truth. We are not using it. Normally, we are not supposed to be in Europe. We are not supposed to be in America. Had it been our leaders were elected according to their personality, according to who they are, and not according to what their family or how their family they are connected. Yeah. And this is the only thing that is bringing Africa down.
Very true. And I think because of the same reason, that's why some of our countries are so corrupt. And as you said, that is one of the reasons that contributed to us going to other countries to go and look for greener pastures. Because if we were scrutinizing these readers before we elect them, some of us people, we would be having good jobs back at home, or even doing businesses that are thriving, and we do not have to migrate to other countries to go and look for greener pastures. It is very true. We should scrutinize leaders before we elect them, and
Mhm.
also researching to know their background, to know the interest of their hearts,
Yeah.
and to know what is their intention.
Mhm.
Because someone could be good today, and after election, or even after electing that person, they end up turning out to be something else.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Atoti? Would we
Yeah.
be here in Europe looking for greener pastures, or even anywhere where some other people are?
Another thing I think I want to add on this. I want to add on this point of African leaders.
Yeah.
If we can be on the front line, if our leaders can be on the front line,
Mm-hmm.
fight for Africa, fight for its land, fight for its grounds. I mean, I have to say, I'm proud of the Ukraine president. The name is very hard. He stood and said he's not going to drop the weapons. He's not going to drop anything down just because Putin has said he should do it or. And as much as I've heard, he has all the women and children have to go, and the men have to stay and face the war. Like Africans can do that and avoid being bought so cheaply with the above people. Then I think we could be so far today. We have a name, we have this pride, we can stand and say our forefathers did this for us. And so we have to continue like this. They don't care how many people are going to join them in the war. The Ukraine have just said, no, we are going to stand and we are going to fight them, no matter what, no matter how it would be. They're not giving up. And this is what fails Africa. Once we see, huku kuna 1 milioni ama miliardi, wacha nikimbie girl, country ikitaka ianguke, ikitaka ifanye vile itafanya. But let me chop the money, let me chop with my family, let me push them to Europe, let me push them to America, they'll have better education. I'll be looking at the president, I will just be checking how the thing is going to happen, the war is going to come. Then after some time, if I see it's too much, I will elope and run away. But this Ukraine people, president and the men, they decided, no, we are the men and we have to start on the front line. We have to fight for our country. We have to make sure that we fight for our country to the last drop. So like today, me and you, we could have been maybe in Kenya, living a very big life. Maybe on the contrary, the European people, they'll be coming in Kenya to chop aduro. For real. But this is what is failing. This is failing in Africa. This is failing. This kind of mute, this kind of motivation, this kind of courage to stand as a man, to stand for your country, to shed blood for your country. I know it's easily said than done, but I mean, we have this. We need this kind of courage. We need this type of Ukraine president of men in our country.
Wow. You've just opened my eyes, because I think I was thinking of another opinion when I saw that nuclear weapon, that he's saying that he's going to use to destabilize the whole nation, or to destabilize the whole world. I was thinking maybe I could have withdrawn if I was the president of Ukraine, and said, instead of losing my people, instead, when you look at those children, at those women, and okay, yes, they are men, they have to stand up and they have to fight for their country. What about when it comes to the point of losing life?
Many of them have lost their life.
Should you stand and be killed because you are only fighting for something that doesn't really make sense?
My dear, like if you checked the news of today, there's one man that stood on that bridge that was bombarded today. He stood and said, I am going to die. Many people ran away. Many people, they're running away. But he stood and said, no, I will die here for the sake of my country, for the sake of the love of my country. He did it. He did it. And after all, I know it's painful, it's hard. But if you look at the fact that you are trying to build something and trying to show something to your generation, because the people that are going to lose life along the lane, like in Africa, we know all of them. We can call names that lost their lives because of our freedom. And the same thing is going to happen to him. It needs courage. If you really know you love your country, you want to stand for you. It's not easy, but that's why I said it needs a man. It needs a correct leader. Because if you want to serve your country, you stand up and swear with the Bible in front of the court and say that you want to serve your country for better, for worse, for blood, for all those things that you keep on swearing. And when the war comes, you pack your family, you run away, then you are not there to serve the country. You did say what you wanted to do. To serve the country means even when the blood is to be shedded, then I stand as a president, and I will stand for the country until the last drop. And this is what the Ukrainian president said. He's going to stand for this country to the last drop.
Wow.
Many of our leaders don't do that. Many of our leaders don't do that. They will swear. They will swear, but when worse comes to us, they will pack only their family.
Very true.
Who sheds blood there? Only the poor citizens. You don't have any place to go. You don't have any place to run to. But see how Ukraine, they packed the special people to them is the children and the women. They pack them all. They are packing them. They're trying, the ones that are willing to run away. Yeah. But no, our leaders pack their family and their children.
Yeah.
And this is what is killing Africa.
Very true.
Yeah.
On the other hand, what is Putin going to achieve? So many people are dead, and maybe the women, the men, and the country is at its bottom. It has lost almost everything. Everything is destabilized. What is he going to achieve at the end of the day? Supremacy?
Yeah, I believe he's fighting for supremacy, for power.
So that the whole world can hear him.
Somebody of a big name in the whole world.
So that the whole world can fear him.
Yeah.
Does it show that people are too evil only because you want the whole world to recognize you? Only you want to be known as the superpower country or to be feared in the whole country. It doesn't matter how many people are going to die in the process, how many people will lose their lives, the children, the women. That shows that people are so evil.
And that's why you hear big people fight in a big way and small people fight in a small way. Okay. For instance, we social media people, we are fighting to reach some goals. We have some goals in social media. You will be posting, you'll be creating your content, you'll be fighting, you'll be going outside there to look for contests, to reach somewhere. These are the normal people fighting, yeah? So at least you are trying to fight for something, yeah? But in a good way, you're not causing any trouble, you're not making anything. But big people, they fight in a bigger way. He's fighting for power. Because he's not going to gain anything once the blood are shed, once the country is destroyed. Nothing, only power.
His mission will be fulfilled. He'll be recognized as maybe the most powerful person in the world or the most powerful president.
I think YouTube, they'll give him the baton. You get the baton of the most powerful president in the world.
Wow, that's a tough one. Maybe as we conclude, we can say something to our Ukrainian people as we pray for peace in their nation. As I read some comments here, I'm just wondering how Putin is powerful than no country and at least to try and defend Ukraine. For sure, actually some countries in Europe are saying that they are going to withdraw themselves because Ukraine is not a member of the NATO. For reasons that are maybe best known to them. Our viewers can tell us the reason. What do you think is the reason as to why Ukraine is not a member of the NATO? Atoti, what do you think? What is the reason? Why are they not a member of the NATO? Is it because he dictated and said that they should not join the NATO? Or what do you think?
As far as I'm concerned, like I said before, I think Ukraine was one with Russia. I mean, it was a big, like Kosovo and all that, they were all together. It was one land, Russia, and they divided it, yeah? So I believe they went into division with some agreement.
Yeah.
But now maybe there's some conflict going on. And when they decided to part and enter NATO, or they wanted to enter the EU, this is when now, so Putin said, we gave you people a piece of land. We decided to give you people like your own, to leave you people on your own, to have your own peace, your own land, and do your life. But now you want to go against us, because as far as I'm concerned, Russia, they're not together. They're not in the same boat with the US.
Yeah.
And this is where the president for Ukraine want to enter. You're speaking my language. Mimi ni Mjaluo. Unataka kwenda kukaa na Wakikuyu na mimi nilikupatia hiyo land. You see where
You
the
have to
problem
do
is
what
starting?
you have to do what I want.
Exactly.
You just gained independent the other day in
Yeah.
1991.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He believes that the country is still retro and they don't have power. He should rule. He should tell them and dictate what they should do and what they should not do.
Exactly.
And that is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your final words to our Ukrainian people?
My final words to the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Ukraine, karasho, 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 karasho.
Make
I
sure you
pray that
translate.
is what the little words that I know. Kakdila, karasho. I pray for peace. Most of them they are Christians. I love that one, and I know
Okay.
there's nothing that can pass prayers.
Yeah.
And God is the mighty one in battle.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
let just God take control and take
Yeah.
over. If there's anything that we, or maybe the Russians, let me say the Ukrainians did that was not pleasant before the eyes of God, may He just have mercy and let peace reign for the sake of those small, innocent kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, our viewers, those who joined in, this is a fellow YouTuber. Maybe tell us what is the name of your channel.
My channel name is Atoti Talks. Kindly, Mwende, you guys subscribe.
Please go
Naomba,
and subscribe to her channel. Go and support her. She is one kind of a person. Give her support in her channel. Just go and press that button. And my last word is thank you so much to those people who have joined in as we pray for peace in Ukraine. And we ask them not to give up as we pray for them, and you know that God is going to intervene. Thank you so much for joining in. Teresa, think for yourself. Social media wahala. Felicity Steve, thank you so much for joining in. And until next time, we wish you nice time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.